Okay.
Waiting for
We are on the air.
you know.
Wait for our viewers. We've got a special recap for you guys. This is a 3-for-1 special. Reviewing weeks 6 through 8. It's been a while, yes I know, busy man, taking care of things, but you know, we're back with it.
Oh, my bad.
Nah, you're good, bro. I'ma drop the link in the Discord. So we get shit popping.
Yo, sign that man his contract. God damn.
Who you talking to?
You.
I don't got nobody I want to sign. Everybody I
So,
signed, they're either old or I signed them this year. I got like almost 100 mil cap space, so I'm
yo,
saving
slide
all
from
that.
over, bro. Slide from over.
You high? You got cap space. I know you
No,
got
give me
cap
like
space.
20.
You the
Give me
Cardinals.
like 20.
Yeah, all right. Give me your first round pick.
Oh, you can suck a dick.
Yeah, all right. All right, let me drop this in Discord real quick.
Oh, that's ass.
What?
I can't re-sign Kareem Hunt.
Damn, why? He asking for too
I
much.
don't know. No, it's not letting me sign him at all. It's not even coming up on my
What? That's weak. That's weak. All right, man. Fuck this. We're not gonna wait for people. We're just gonna jump right into it. All right, so you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
All right. 5, 4, 3, 2. Awkward pause. All right, cool. Welcome to the Gridiron Gang Weekly Recap, Week 6 through 8 special. Here with your host with the most, head commissioner Boogie by J1, joined by owner of the Arizona Cardinals, Alter Chaos. Yeah, like he said, what's up? We're also joined by the Seattle Seahawks and Buffalo Bills owners here. We're going to get some introspect on their teams and what their future plans are and what their plans are currently for this season, whether they're contending or rebuilding. We're not going to waste any time. We got a lot of games to get into the past 3 weeks, and a lot has been going on, so we're going to do a little bit of catch-up, and we're just going to jump right into it as we always do. A lot of records have been broken, and finally, for the first time this entire year, we're going to review the season stats, the season stat leaders for every single statistic you could think of. Passing yards, passing touchdowns, rushing, receiving, sacks, you name it, we're going to have you guys. But we're not going to hold you guys. We're going to get busy real quick and do a little backtrack here, jumping all the way to week 6. In the top of the week here. A couple forced wins here. You know how we go by now. We don't really review these games since they're CPU games. So, needless to say, Quay Flock came over with an easy win over the New England Patriots, 35-14 in Foxborough to kick off the week 6 and Thursday Night Football. Sunday night in London, 9:30 in the morning, Carolina hands Jake the Ripper at the Tampa Bay Buccaneers 35-14 loss in London of all places here. And as you see here, pretty close game in the first quarter, 21-14. Just after that, Tampa did not have any answers for Cam Newton and co. As they drop a whopping 35 on the road overseas. And Cam Newton, vintage numbers, 143.9 quarterback rating, looking like his MVP self, 19 for 23, 208, 3 touchdowns. Jameis. Not as many turnovers in this game, but did not make a lot of plays as that relentless Carolina Panthers pass rush was able to get to him and pressure him the entire game. Phillip Lindsay almost cracking 100 yards in this one, running extremely well, 4.8 yards a carry, 62 yards for Ronald Jones, and a touchdown as well, minus the fumble, of course. Mike Davis, backup running back, getting to the end zone as well. DJ Moore, 5 for 59 and a touchdown himself. Leading the way for all receivers on both teams. Jarius Wright getting to the end zone, Pierre Garçon, of all people, veteran, cracking the end zone as well. Philip Lindsay doing a little damage on the ground, also throughout the air, scoring. So we go to defensive side of the ball. 10 tackles for Kendall Fuller in a big trade with the Kansas City Chiefs. Levante David tying for him in tackle high for both teams. No sacks in this one, as far as I'm seeing. So there's a lot of pressuring going on in this game, but the pass rush of both teams could not get the job done as far as getting to the quarterback. The lone interception in this one coming from Trey Boston, veteran safety, out of North Carolina. No field goals in this one. With the exception of extra points, none. Pure scoring in this one. As the Carolina Panthers get an easy victory, rivalry game for the NFC South. As Carolina at the bottom of the NFC South, Tampa slowly working their way up, but they have some tough opponents in that division. With the 7-1, both tied the New Orleans Saints and Atlanta Falcons, two of the best teams in the NFC. It's gonna be crazy to see how things work out come playoff time. So go here, another force one game here. We know how we go about these. Washington 10 points, Miami 17. Miami, ever since under new ownership, Ngakwe has been able to turn things around despite having the worst roster in the league with general consensus. He's able to do things, and with the recent trades of the Houston Texans and Steelers for the first round picks, they're loaded with picks. They're loaded with cap space. This is a very dangerous team come next offseason, so they're definitely a team to look after. With another victory for them as they move up the AFC East ladder. Watch out, Buffalo. So you go here, another force one game. The Eagles take a win on the road in Minnesota, 31-17, over the Vikings, who have had a very disappointing season. One of the better assembled, talented rosters in the entire NFL. Just hasn't been able to put things together this year. As a much-needed win to stay alive in the NFC East race for aim 3, balling out in the Philadelphia Eagles. As we go here, your boy Drew 11-12 at the Houston Texans takes on your boy Jay Wills 28 of the Kansas City Chiefs. Here. Pat Mahomes has been on an absolute tear this season. He has absolutely been doing it up, and there's no exception this week against a lackluster Houston Texans secondary. So we go here, heading into halftime, 14-3, Kansas City up, and it just didn't stop from there. Despite 13 points high from both teams in this one, Houston just didn't have an answer or a comeback in them come the fourth quarter, as Kansas City escapes with a win at home, 31-16. So we go here to the stats. Patrick Mahomes, being Mahomes himself, 324, 4 touchdowns, superb quarterback rating, 14 of 18. Had as many touchdowns as incomplete passes. Deshaun Watson continuing his struggles this year, only 95 passing yards this year. 1 interception, 6 of 13, so not a lot of passing in this one, but the defense absolutely swarmed him. A lot of success, obviously, for Lamar Miller on the ground, 16 for 205 and 2 touchdowns, also with a lone fumble, but didn't really change much, as Dane Williams, 16 for 88, did pretty solid on the ground himself. Mahomes with a fumble, Deshaun Watson with a fumble himself, being 2 turnovers in this game. But Tyreek Hill doing Tyreek Hill things. Is it any different? Being Offensive Player of the Week for Week 6, Tyreek Hill, 8 catches, 223, 3 touchdowns. It would not surprise me if he's top 5 in receiving yards or receiving touchdowns so far through 9 weeks this season. D-Hop not having the best season himself due to the struggles of Deshaun Watson somehow. 3 for 52. Mecole Hardman doing a little damage. And despite that, Demarcus Robinson with the other lone passing touchdown in this game. As we go to defense, not a lot of defensive action in this one, despite DJ Reader with 2 sacks in this one. A bunch of other guys, McKinney, Clark, J.J. Watt, and Breland Speaks. Bet. So we go here to the Innos, Daniel Surison, veteran safety with the lone pick in this one. As Kansas City easily walks away with a victory. As they lead the top of the AFC. Or are they? A little foreshadowing there. We'll see the AFC and NFC standings at the end of this, so stay tuned for that. As you go here, am I talking too much, or do you want to recap a couple of these games?
No, you good.
No, you good. Yeah, I mean, you're
I'm
guessing one
sick
now,
right now.
so
I can't be doing this.
nah, I feel you got a little situation, but yeah. So hope you take care of that, bro. Um, we'll get to you in a second. Definitely, your game is coming up in a little bit. You probably don't want to get into it for week 6, but
Hell no.
if you're a guest, we're gonna put you on a hot seat in a little bit. So get ready for that. Your boy Juju, 24 of the New Orleans Saints, takes a trip all the way to Duval County in Jacksonville, taking on Lord Zelkova and the Jacksonville Jaguars in a very close game here, indicated from the box score. As we go here to the first half, a little quick action, field goal in the first quarter, 10-10 even at halftime, 13-10 for the Saints heading into the second half with a safety. So this is a 13-12 game. No, excuse me. This is a 15-10 game heading into the fourth quarter. As we go here, Jacksonville tried to stage a comeback, outscoring the Saints in the fourth quarter, but Saints did just enough in Duval County to escape in overtime with a 29-23 game. Seen this game, guys, drop those links. If you lag, completely understand, but these games look very enjoyable. So must watch content right here. Drew Brees on an absolute tear with his receivers in D.D. Westbrook and Julio Jones. We'll get to them in a moment because they have a couple records under their belt this year, especially Drew Brees breaking the most passing touchdowns in a single game this year with 10. Not this week, but weeks prior. So who else would do it? Obviously Drew Brees. Does not surprise me. 449, 3 touchdowns, 3 picks, 21-32. Brees was on an absolute tear against his Jacksonville secondary. Tyree Jackson surprised a little bit the early parts of the season. Surprised everyone that he was able to get the starting job despite Gardner Minshew and Nick Foles being on that roster. But obviously showing his rookie struggles. 192, 2 picks. 5 of 12, sacked 5 times. Did not have the greatest game for the rookie out of Buffalo. Leonard Fournette doing the majority of the work for this offense for the Jacksonville. 11 carries, 96 yards, 2 touchdowns. As Alvin Kamara tried to match him, just could not. 15-35, obviously struggled mightily in this game on the ground at that front of the Jacksonville Jaguars. But Julio Jones, as I just said, that duo, I don't know who has a better duo. And these are probably 2 of the best teams in the NFC right now, with the Atlanta Falcons and the New Orleans Saints. And ironically enough, they're in the same division. It's either Julio Jones and D.D. Westbrook or Calvin Ridley and Michael Thomas. Who do you prefer? Which duo would you rather have and build your team around? Drop in the comment section below. Obviously, Julio and Michael Thomas go hand in hand. But D.D. Westbrook, Calvin Ridley, both smaller guys, both really good route runners, both very explosive after the catch. So they're both very similar in their own right. So it's not surprising that both these guys put up very similar numbers. Yo, y'all done? Alright, bet. So now that we have, these guys just finished their game. So now we're just going to mute them. Make sure they're, join the little recap with this. We have owners of the Buffalo Bills and Seattle Seahawks. Yo.
Yo.
Yo, what's good?
Not much.
Nah, we're just,
Why that sound so sour?
Who won? Who won exactly?
He won 21-6.
Oh, shit.
You can't stop my run game somehow. Yeah. Fucking ass Aaron Jones.
Braden Jefferson. Seahawks are trash. Why he in here?
Who the fuck said that?
There's Niners.
Niners.
The Niners.
We gonna find out next week, Niners.
Oh shit.
Speaking of which, me and the Niners have to have a game.
But getting back to the Saints in Jacksonville again, very close game heading into overtime. But Julio Jones absolutely going crazy. 7 catches for 252, 2 touchdowns, leading all receivers obviously in this one. Rico Gafford, have no idea who this guy is, but continues to do great numbers over there in Jacksonville. 3 catches for a $103. D.D. Westbrook, former Jacksonville Jaguar, being traded to the New Orleans Saints in a revenge game. 3 catches, 90 yards, and a touchdown himself. Jesse James for 6 for 72. So we get to the defensive side of the ball. Cameron Jordan, 3 sacks. Sack man himself. 2 for Calais Campbell. So we go to the pick line here. Tyrann Mathieu in a big trade, stunning trade from the Kansas City Chiefs earlier this season, coming to the New Orleans Saints. 2 picks himself, leading all defenders. But Saints in a much-needed win to stay atop the NFC South here at 7-1. As Jacksonville started off the season hot with a big victory over Kansas City in Week 1, just hasn't been able to sustain their momentum since then. Although they're still atop their division at the AFC South. So go here. Seattle. Ironically enough, you came here just on time, bro. Perk 2K YouTube. The Seattle Seahawks takes on X-Pair Premium of the Cleveland Browns here. In a pretty close game here, indicated from the box score. Halftime, it was 14-10. Pretty close game here, but Seattle not able to do enough. Unfortunately, in the fourth quarter, as Cleveland.
Hold on. He kept pausing the game.
True.
The stream was over an hour long, bro. It was over an hour.
True. Cardinals did tell me. So exactly, get into that. What exactly happened here? You started off hot, right?
All right. So
you had the lead.
I was up, and then he's like, "Bro, I gotta go eat." Okay, he went to go eat. That took him like 10 minutes. Okay, he comes back, and then we start playing again. And then he pauses it again. Bro, I gotta wash dishes. Okay, I let it slide again. And then he comes back. I think he scored after that. And then he left again. He said he had to go take out the trash. And then he came back. He just kept leaving.
Nah, yeah, that's a little suspect. You know what I'm saying? Like, for all we know, he could have been on fucking YouTube changing his game plan. You know what I'm saying? Trying to get a new strategy.
That's what we thought. Because in the stream, I was like, I'm finna do this wheel route. And then, bro, he covered the wheel route.
Yeah, that's definitely something me and Carlos gonna get into. If you have to do anything in a game, if you're busy and you start a game, quit the game and start the game later. It's as simple as that.
It's all in the stream.
Yeah, exactly. If there's proof of it.
I was trying to tell them to back out so they could get the first win, but that was way too late.
Yeah, that's suspect, man. That shouldn't be happening, to be honest. Yeah, because obviously you had the momentum. You was up 14-10 at halftime, and you were also up in the third quarter. And then somehow, some way, you dropped 12 in the fourth quarter to get the victory. So that's a little that's something we might have to look into. But going here to the box score real quick. Baker Mayfield had a pretty even game here. 1 touchdown, 1 pick, 185. Russell Wilson, hate to say it, continuing the struggles this season. 196, 1 touchdown, 4 interceptions in this one, 14-21. Just wasn't able to take care of the ball. Nick Chubb, 21-89 in the touchdown. Russell doing a little damage on the ground as well. Carson, Derrick Henry, dynamic duo in that backfield for Seattle, both punching in a touchdown.
Henry got hurt.
Obviously. So that's a big one, but still a great starter in his own right, Chris Carson. Not the fastest guy, but he's definitely a bruising back. Odell Beckham, continuing that chemistry with Baker Mayfield, 5 for 95 and a touchdown, leading all receivers in this one. Jerron Brown, veteran receiver out of Clemson, doing a little damage. Will Disley for 55. Outside of that, everybody's a little quiet, with the exception of Albert Wilson, coming from Miami, getting into the end zone in this one. So we go to the sack column here. Lone sack in this one, we're going to Olivier Vernon, coming from the Giants last offseason. Jordan Hicks being the AFC Defensive Player of the Week in this one with 3 interceptions. Shaquille Griffin, Ricardo Allen with the picks as well. 4 field goals from Austin Siebert of the Cleveland Browns, and Jason Myers with the lone field goal attempt for the Seattle Seahawks. Missing on this one, which could have made a difference, who knows, but 25-21 is the final score here in Cleveland. Let me know exactly, since you're here, it's only right to question you, what exactly happened in this game? What did you see any changes to his game plan? What was he able to
Yeah,
stop that you were doing very
he
well
was
successfully?
reading everything that I was doing. Cause like, okay, like I'd say when it's third down, I put two of my receivers on a slant and one on the street, and he started catching on to that. Like every time, like the second time I did it, he caught on to it. That's how I knew him. Like, what's going on? Cause I said in my stream that I was gonna do it every third down to see what he'd do. And then I switched it up and tried to do a wheel route, and he guarded that. So I tried different things. And then my run game, he was guarding that too.
Yeah, damn. I mean, so far, right now you're 3-5. Do you still have
Mm,
hope to contend and possibly get a wild card spot, or are
yeah,
you in complete rebuild mode?
no, I'm not in rebuild mode. I'm gonna get it. Cause watch out for 49ers. He finna get smacked next week.
You heard it here
Oh,
first. If 49ers is available, we'll definitely invite him to the
49ers about to get me to 500. Cause
ooh,
I'm about to beat Bucks this week, and I'm beating him next week.
you heard it here first. Seattle definitely determined to get their lone or final wild card spot possibly. Um, Starting with the Buccaneers here. If we get Niners here, hopefully we get a little trash talk, a little face off. We'll definitely try to reach out to them. But
You know we always trash talking in the Discord.
right. uh, okay, we're gonna review this game real quickly. Bengals on the road. Henny Jr. Taking on your boy JoJo 27, the Baltimore Ravens. 15-38 final score here. Baltimore absolutely slapping Cincinnati. Cincinnati actually got shut out in the first half, and that was enough, obviously, with the 17-0 lead at halftime. And going to this one, Cincinnati tried to fight back, but it just wasn't enough. To go here, Lamar Jackson absolutely going bananas. 239, 3 touchdowns, 23-28. Really accurate. 19-29. A buck 78, 2 touchdowns for Andy Dalton. Did pretty good, but it just wasn't enough in the later half of this game. Mark Ingram going for a buck 52, 2 touchdowns for himself. Mixon could not get anything going on the ground. As far as that, Miles Boykins, the rookie out of Notre Dame, 11 for a buck 04, 2 touchdowns, taking over the spot for Hollywood Brown, who was recently traded to who's Hollywood Brown traded to? I know he was traded to somebody.
Traded to the
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 Chargers.
Chargers. Facts. Right. Boykins obviously taking over for Hollywood Brown. John Ross, 7 for 71, 2 touchdowns. The only 2 touchdowns from Andy Dalton in this game. Outside of that, going to the defensive side of the ball, a sack apiece from Michael Pierce, Brandon Williams, and Patrick. I'm not even going to attempt to say your name. No sacks in this one from the Bengals. No picks as well. Looks like a pure offensive passing attack in this game. Justin Tucker going 1 for 2, 50-50 in this one. As a much-needed victory for the Baltimore Ravens as Bengals had a little steam early on in the season, now slowing down. Will they stay in the playoff race? That remains to be seen. But speaking of the 49ers, division game, a lot of stakes on the line here. As Big B Staz 86 of the San Francisco 49ers taking on IN, the GOATs of the LA Rams. And as you see here, it just wasn't fair. 36-17 final score here in LA as LA got shut out in the first half. As I see here, 14-0 here as San Fran doubled down in the fourth quarter, putting up 16, and that was exactly enough to get the victory in LA. Jared Goff, not so good. 2 of 2, 296, sacked 10 times. So the pressure was relentless in this one. Is Jimmy Garoppolo, not a lot of passing, which has been the motto for them this season. It's been ground and pound. 5 of 9, no sacks in this one. Clean jersey. 45 yards, a touchdown, but 2 interceptions. Has to cut down on those turnovers. But Matt Breida, alert, we got a record alert. 23 carries, 317, 4 touchdowns as he breaks the NFL single game rushing record with 317 yards this season. Congratulations to the 49ers. As he has been obviously the the workhorse for the 49ers. But spoiler alert, he is out for 9 weeks. So it is time for Tevin Coleman and the rest of those running backs, Jared McKinnon, to step up for the 49ers. We'll see if they have the same success going forward. Todd Gurley absolutely getting shut down. 11 carries for 17 yards. Not looking like the offensive player of the year he once was. Cooper Kupp, though, putting up crazy numbers. 5 for $1.68 and a touchdown. Robert Woods joining him over 100 as well. 3 for $1.23. Tevin Coleman, as we just speaking of, gets to the end zone throughout the air. Tyler Higbee, backup tight end, getting to the end zone as well. Defensively, though, 4 sacks for Eric Armstead. Dre Greenlaw with 2, along with Akello Witherspoon, all contributing to the 10-sack count against Jared Goff in this one. Richard Sherman, Jason Verrett with a pick, Nickel Roby, and Taylor Rapp, the rookie out of Washington, with all picks in this one. Any defensive touchdowns? Nope, nothing to be seen here. It's a much-needed victory for the San Francisco 49ers as they stay atop the NFC West race. As we move on here, Cardinals, are you there? We have a lot to talk about. We have a lot to talk about, bro. Hody Mikey of the Atlanta Falcons, yes, 52-14 against co-commissioner Alter Chaos 97 of the Arizona Cardinals. Now, exactly, before we get into the numbers, before we get into the number, what exactly happened? Let me get your perspective in this one, because this looked like...
I was trying to run with Murray, couldn't get that down.
Okay.
Another thing with the animations, fucking bullshit as well. And, that's all I can really say. But I play like shit. That's all I'm gonna say.
Falcons are sweaty.
Falcons,
yeah.
Falcons also got Matt Ryan and, I believe, Freeman injured.
Yeah, right. You did tell me that we was in a party while you played.
Look what 49ers put in the chat.
I hope you see that, Seahawks. That's going to be you next week. How do you feel about that, Seahawks? How do you feel about the trash talk?
I'm shutting it down.
Are you guaranteeing a win? Is what I'm asking.
I'm guaranteeing a win.
You heard it here first. Seattle looking to turn things around with a start against the Bucks and the week after against the 49ers. Trying to stay afloat for the wild card game. 49ers, obviously atop the NFC and the NFC West. That's definitely a game to anticipate. Might be game of the week come week 10. But getting back to this game real quick. Man, this is going to hurt to review. Wow, 14s all across the board. 14 in the first, all throughout the third quarter as well. And 10 in the fourth quarter. Just Arizona getting to the end zone in the first half. Come second half, just absolutely flat tires in this one. They just could not keep up. Wow, bro. Okay, I'm gonna try to get throughout this one. 201, 2 touchdowns and a pick for Matt Ryan. You think with those numbers, okay, then nothing crazy. We'll get to exactly who did the most work in this one. Kyler Murray, 185 and a touchdown, put 9 interceptions. That is absolutely absurd. I'm not sure if that's a record for most in a single game, but the rookie out of Oklahoma, the Heisman Trophy winner, number 1 overall pick, having some flashes of promise throughout the season, but obviously didn't flash at all in this game. Sorry to say.
Yeah, I got the 7th sack because I kept running into my own lineman, and it kept getting me a sack.
Good thing you said that, because we're going to get to somebody in this game real quick. Matt Schaub even coming in for Matt Ryan, who got hurt in this one, tossing 2 picks. So not a lot of good passing attack from the Atlanta Falcons in this one. But Devontae Freeman continuing his rampage this year. 18 for $176, 3 touchdowns. Could not be stopped in this one. Kenyon Drake running the ball pretty well in this one, despite the 11 carries for 64 and a touchdown. E2 Smith getting to the end zone. Kareem Hunt getting a little run. But Calvin Ridley, who, as far as everybody I've talked to, nobody has been able to find an answer to stop Calvin Ridley. Nobody, not even I. He burnt me with Calvin Ridley. 5 for 201, 2 touchdowns in this one. As I'm willing to guarantee Ridley's top 5 in receiving yards so far this year. Max Williams getting to the end zone with the lone passing touchdown for the Arizona Cardinals in this one. Uh, Going to the defensive side of the ball real quick as we have to highlight here. Vic Beasley, Defensive Player of the Week, 9 tackles, 4 sacks in this one for the former first-round pick out of Clemson for the Atlanta Falcons. 2 picks, what the fuck am I saying? 2 sacks for Hassan Reddick out of Temple for the Arizona Cardinals. As far as NOs, Josh Shaw with 2, Keanu Neal, Deion Jones, and a bunch of others contributing to the pick party of the Atlanta Falcons. So go ahead, Young Ho.
Dalvin Cook retired in the league?
Nah, not why.
Because I'm looking at the league news. It says that fans will be shocked at the announcement of Dalvin Cook will be stepping away from football.
That's like a glitch, cause it said that several times like throughout the season for like players, but they're still on rosters and shit. I don't know why it does it, but yeah, that's like a little glitch. I don't know why. But getting this game quickly over with. All right, Cardinals. So right now, you're currently sitting at 1-7, right? Looking at you still have a shot at the playoffs, but
No, stop lying.
it's not as if you win out, you have a chance. Technically, it's not you're not definitely like indefinite. You can't make it, but realistically speaking, since you obviously don't think you have a shot at the playoffs, who exactly are you targeting in the first round next year's draft? Do you think you're gonna get the number 1 pick? Are you aiming for that, or you're trying to compete?
That's what I'm aiming for, but I know for a fact I'm not gonna be able to get it. And I don't want to say my focus on who I'm getting because you got other teams that are tanking, and they can pick them up. So,
No, yeah, I feel you. If you
Lions right now, Lions and Jets have a better overall ranking pick than me.
damn, so Niners obviously talking his shit right now, saying you're gonna be 0-3 come this week. How you feel about that?
0-3.
Yes, sir.
I mean, you can try.
You could try.
You know, mama ain't raised no bitch.
So all right. Obviously, you got a little confidence, but you're willing to tank for this season to rebuild.
Yes.
Speaking of that, have you relocated? You did relocate,
Yes, I
right?
have.
Where have you relocated to?
I relocated to London, Black Knights.
London Black Knights, right. How do you feel about that? How you feel? Do you not fuck with Arizona? Is that why you made the move, or you just wanted to get a new team?
I just wanted to get an expansion team. You know, like I seen the uniform for the Black Knights, and I actually liked them.
True. I can
And
take
it has a
that.
better fan base and a bigger market than
Yeah.
what the Cardinals have.
Facts. From what I understand, they have out of all the relocation teams, they have the best fan market, the best fan interest, and yeah, as far as population, you'll be able to sell tickets like crazy. So you should have no worries. Yeah, as we get into this force win real quick, we got 3 force wins, so we're gonna bang this out to get to week 7 real quick. Dallas gets an easy win over the CPU Jets, 34-28 on the road in Meadowlands. Tennessee Titans obviously lose CPU team to Denver Broncos as Denver gets another win in the AFC West. As Steelers, obviously 2 CPU teams. There were 2 users, but from what I understand is Steelers lost the former Steelers user in week 5 rage quit after claiming he had the best defense in the league. Chargers obviously gets a force win in this one, 45-28.
Question: what was the Steelers' name?
Blitzburg.
Right, it was Pittsburgh. Yeah,
No,
I don't-
but like
his score.
the PSN.
I have no idea. No idea. You have to look at the. You watch my other recaps. It should be in there.
I'm gonna do that now. I'm gonna investigate because supposedly we have a new Steelers, and he said that he doesn't race quit.
I bet. Good, because I have Steelers
but-
this week. I play them. So
But the thing is that He he looks familiar.
He looks familiar. What you mean?
His name.
Send it to me and I'll let you know.
It's Blitzburg Steelers with like black and
Okay, no, never mind. Nope, never mind. I think it's a different Steelers.
Alright, bet. Alright. Final game of the week. A bunch of controversy in this one as Fiesta OJ of the Detroit Lions goes on the road to Lambeau Field Monday Night Football, take on the Green Bay Packers, BDG Clays, and a lot of controversy in this one, which actually led to some discipline, but complete shutout by the Packers in their own right. 7 in the first half, 7 in the third, 14 to close this one out in the fourth quarter, 28-0. So they get the victory in a much-needed NFC North division rivalry game. Aaron Rodgers, 252, 2 touchdowns in an NO. Jeff Driscoll, for some reason, whether or not Matthew Stafford got hurt in this one, Driscoll was the one who got the start. Obviously struggled, 5 of 13. Didn't have a chance at all in winning. Raheem Mostert coming over from the San Francisco 49ers, 11 for 51, touchdown. Rodgers getting a rushing touchdown as well. Jimmy Graham, 5 for 70 and a touchdown. Devontae Adams, 6 for 68 and a touchdown as well. But as far as defense goes, Mike Daniels, former Green Bay Packer in a revenge game, didn't exactly go his way. Leads both teams in this one. As far as picks, 1 for Tracy Walker, 1 for Adrian Amos, former safety of the Chicago Bears, coming over via offseason. Yeah, a lot of controversy in this one. Obviously, as we all know, this was the week that the Green Bay Packers had. I'll just rehash it just for history's sake. Packers obviously broke a couple rules. He stole a relocation team of the Arizona Cardinals, and he also got 2 touchdowns on 2 fourth down plays, which obviously changed the outcome of this game a little bit. Would have made it a bit closer, but yeah, he broke 2 rules in this one, which obviously led to some suspensions for some players, such as Za'Darius Smith, Raheem Mostert, and Devontae Adams. But they only have about a 5-game suspension, so we'll see how the Green Bay Packers fare come week 7, 8, 9, 10, and 11. Finally, heading over to week 7, 1 week down, we got 2 more to go. Monday Night Football. Your boy Jay Wills, 28, of the Kansas City Chiefs takes on El Dinero of the Denver Broncos in a surprising Thursday Night Football upset. The Broncos, from what I know, they're a pretty good team from what numbers he put up against everybody else this year. Kansas City, pretty good in his own right. Just what happened here? Kansas City, they're both going back and forth, 21-20 game here at halftime. Denver with the lead, and just Kansas City just absolutely fell apart. Denver Broncos defense. I don't know what answer they had, what game plan they had dialed up, but they were able to score offensively, shut them down defensively. 41-20 final score here at Mile High Stadium. Drew Lock outplaying the former MVP Patrick Mahomes, who's having an MVP-like season this year. 356, a touchdown, but 4 interceptions. Arguably his worst game of the season, 20 of 33. But Drew Lock, 228, touchdown, 13-19 for the rookie out of Missouri. Christian McCaffrey, obviously. Does this surprise you? Offensive Player of the Week this week for Week 7, 12 for 256, 4 touchdowns, along with 4 catches for 41 yards. Congratulations to the Denver Broncos in a big upset. Damian Williams, having a pretty good season this year, 12 for 69 and a touchdown as well. Patrick Mahomes, along with the 4 interceptions, 2 fumbles in this one with a total of 6 turnovers. That doesn't equal to wins at all. Tyreek Hill, despite the loss, putting up huge numbers as usual. 4 for $146 and a touchdown in this one. DK Metcalf going tit for tat for him in this one. 4 for $108 and a touchdown as well. Kelsey, 6 for 87. Hartman, 5 for 79. So on and so forth. As we go to defensive side of the ball, 3 sacks for Chris Jones. 3 for Braylon Speaks as well. But despite the pressure, couldn't equal W in this one. As we go to the interception column, Chris Harris, obviously, you knew had something to do with this. Justin Simmons, Will Parks, a very underrated secondary of the Denver Broncos, was able to shut down Patrick Mahomes in a much-needed victory in the AFC West playoff picture. Shelby Harris, Jeremy Atachu coming over from the Los Angeles Chargers. Any defensive touchdowns in this one? Derek Wolfe getting in on the action as well. Kicking, only 2 field goals from the Kansas City Chiefs, but that didn't make a difference here. And a big victory for El Dinero of the Denver Broncos over your boy Jay Wills. Handing him his second loss of the year. Who's number 1 in the AFC, should you say? Well, we have him here. I guess. If you, as I just said, Chiefs handing his second loss of the year. Who's number 1 in the AFC? Well, we have him here first. Ngakoue of the Miami Dolphins taking on Snow Machine 12 of the Buffalo Bills in a very close anticipated game. Would love to see this game. Don't know whether or not it was streamed or not, but wow. Buffalo turning on the comeback mode, dropping 15 in the fourth quarter. It was 20-10 come halftime. Miami obviously slowed down, 17-23 heading into the fourth quarter, and just Buffalo turning out a victory in Buffalo, putting up numbers. Josh Rosen playing pretty well himself, 292 and 2 touchdowns and a pick, 11 for 16. But Josh Allen, the passing yards, he's obviously getting better as an overall passer. 336, 2 touchdowns, despite the 3 interceptions, 27-37. Eckler, big addition coming over for the San Diego Chargers, well, Los Angeles Chargers. 15 for 80, 2 touchdowns himself. The running game, non-existent despite having David Johnson and Rashad Penny come over via trades from the Seattle Seahawks and the Arizona Cardinals. Receiving wise, Jakeem Grant, what happened here? 6 catches, 224, 2 touchdowns from the speedster, 5'7" at that, out of Texas Tech. John Brown doing damage for the Buffalo Bills, 6 for 99 and a touchdown. Robert Foster, 6 for 86. Cole Beasley getting in some work. Jason Kroom with the lone touchdown as well. Sack-wise, Ed Oliver, as I was just talking about, earning Defensive Player of the Week honors here. 6 tackles, 5 sacks, contributed to a big fourth quarter comeback for the Buffalo Bills. 2 sacks for Lorenzo Alexander and Taco Charlton as well. As far as we go to interception column, Chase Allen, Eric Rowe, Jerome Baker, and Micah Hyde as well. Nothing but field goals from the Miami Dolphins. Since we have him here in a big victory for the Buffalo Bills, what exactly happened here? What happened in the fourth quarter for you to engineer this comeback?
It's like in the first half, my man, I kept running like cover 3, and I just kept getting beat, right? So in the fourth quarter, I had to switch to like some cover 4 type scheme. Ended up stopping him a bit, and then Austin Eckler started to get working, and then our receivers just got open, and I was able to get the passes off.
All right. So, I mean, in your own right, since you had success shutting down the run game, it was pretty predictable to know to expect pass almost every play, right? Ngakoue, he just took over the Dolphins a couple weeks ago. Credit to him. He's been in a couple really good games. How would you rate him as a user, despite having possibly the worst roster so far this year?
He has incredible IQ on how to beat certain coverages, like that Jakeem Grant. He got a lot of those yards off of just killing my cover 3 scheme. And his defense is also phenomenal, and yeah, overall it's really good.
Yeah, right. Yeah, and judging from this very close game, is this the first time you guys played each other so far this year, or do you have another game?
We have another game. What week? I think week 11. Yeah, week 11 we play again.
Week 11. Well, I mean, geez, are you looking forward to it? Are you gonna do some? Well, I'm not gonna expose your game plan or anything, but do you expect them to change things up quite a bit, implement the run game. Are you ready for that?
Yeah, I'm hoping that I'm gonna be able to get the run game started again and stuff like that.
So I mean, shit. Yeah. From I haven't played him yet, but kudos to Gakwe for doing what he's doing with a very disadvantaged Miami Dolphins team. They do have a lot of young players to build around, such as Jerome Baker, Raekwon McMillan, various others, Xavier Howard, obviously. But he's definitely a team to look out for and not count out in the AFC playoff picture. But for Buffalo, are you still there, my man? No, we will get back to him as soon as he comes back. But
Yeah, I'm still here.
all right, bet. I was gonna ask you. I was gonna get to it in week 8, but we're gonna get to it already. You are atop the AFC right now, possibly the
Yeah.
NFL tied.
No, it's opposite. It's opposite. He's on the bottom.
No, I think that's you. But say no. Fucking yeah, bro. I knew you came into the league about 3-4 weeks ago. From what I remember. Yeah, just coming into the league. Pretty early on, still in the season. How? I mean, did you envision yourself with the Buffalo Bills roster being atop the AFC midway throughout the season?
No, I honestly envisioned me having to rebuild this roster from whatever I had, but I was able to get in a groove, and yeah, this roster is not as bad.
No, definitely not. They
Quarterback. You just need a quarterback.
what?
It's just a quarterback that needs work.
Really? I mean, if you want Josh Allen, we could talk in the off season.
Josh Allen. All right, I'm gonna tell you something. Josh Allen, he could be a nice quarterback and all, but I don't see him as a starter. I
What?
see him more as a backup. No lie, bro. I see him as a backup.
I would trade Brissett for Allen in heartbeat. That's just me though.
Oh yeah, no doubt. That's ass.
Yeah, seriously. But yeah, fucking yeah, Buffalo definitely has a really good roster, man. They have a lot of young pieces, a lot of veteran guys, possibly the best safety tandem in the league right now with Poyer and Micah Hyde. But that defense definitely underrated. The offense, they have some offensive firepower as well. Definitely a team to look out for atop the AFC come playoff time. Will they be able to? How confident are you that you are able to keep this number 1 seed heading into the playoffs, keeping home field advantage
3 out of 5.
and a first round bye?
I mean, I'm feeling like a 4 right now. I'm looking at my
4.
schedule, and a lot of the teams I'm playing, besides the Browns, Dolphins, Broncos, and maybe Ravens. I don't know. They just don't look. I'm not trying to be disrespectful, but I feel like I would be able to come out of these games as a winner.
Okay. I'll talk your shit.
Ooh, he got confidence. Keep that same energy.
Yeah, I'd be 7-1. Shit, I don't see why he wouldn't. But yeah, very close victory in the AFC East division picture. Much needed victory for the Bills as they have a pretty big lead as far as games go in the AFC East. I mean, ridiculous from what I'm seeing. But we're going to go here into this force win game, get out the way real quick. Jaguars on the road to the Bengals. Force win game for Jacksonville and a much needed win to keep them above 500 in the AFC South. So we go here. Y&W Jermaine, the Minnesota Vikings takes on Fiesta OJ, and just what is
The Viking user is actually new Viking user.
right. So this would be, was this fair, Sim?
No, I don't think it was.
That thing, I don't.
Oh yeah, it definitely wasn't because
Oh no, it was played. Okay,
Yeah, it was
I'm
played.
tripping. Alright, so this is probably a former Vikings user, but Fiesta OJ, credit to him to picking up the Detroit Lions. I mean, not a lot of people want to play with them. They have some pieces, but as you see here, just Minnesota just did not let up on them at all, dropping 5 touchdowns for Kirk Cousins. Surprising enough, he did not get NFC Offensive Player of the Week, but somebody else on this team did. We'll get to that in a second. 448, 5 touchdowns, 2 for Kirk Cousins. Matthew Stafford. Last game was Jeff Driscoll. Stafford comes back from injury, presumably. 167, 4 interceptions on this one. Not a great year for Detroit at all. They look like they're aiming for the number 1 pick. Cards, you might have to watch out for them. Rushing, non-existent in this game from both teams. But Stephon Diggs earning NFC Defensive Player of the Week honors for Week 7, 12 catches, 301, 4 touchdowns. Pretty crazy numbers. As this game going over 301, Stephon Diggs earns the 10th most receiving yards in a single game in NFL history. So congratulations to the Minnesota Vikings. Kenny Galladay, sick.
Let me stop you right there. I think he put the 2 o'clock after reaching 28 points.
I mean, well, hold on. We'll just score here. We'll just score here.
Go to the box score.
It's 35-2. So at that, all right. So at that point, there was no rushing touchdowns, right?
Yeah.
But if we go receiving, Stephon Diggs 4 touchdowns is 28 points. So who knows if we can't look at the play-by-play, but we can only look at the box score. So who knows if it's like Stephon Diggs scored fucking 4 touchdowns straight, then Thielen got the last one, or basically who knows the order of touchdowns it went by.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah, just we're gonna get this game out the way real quick because completely lopsided here. Daniel Hunter with 4 sacks, 2 for Griffin and Trey Flowers. As far as picks, 2 for Tracy Walker and Harrison Smith as well. It's just a lone field goal missed by Dan Bailey. As Detroit continuing to struggle at the bottom of the NFC North, Minnesota at the bottom of the NFC North as well. So both teams trying to fight their way up to the wild card spot. So we go here. Prejon of the Oakland Raiders takes a trip to Lambeau Field to face BDG Clays of the Green Bay Packers. In this game, surprising upset. Green Bay at one point throughout the season were the number 1 team in the NFC, obviously struggling. This is the first game without Zadarius, Devontae Adams, and Raheem Mostert. So go here, heading into halftime here, 13-10. Oakland extends the lead a bit, heading into the fourth quarter, 16-10. Green Bay, Oakland, both trade shots, but it just wasn't enough as Oakland obviously edges them out in Lambeau with a big upset. With Derek Carr's obviously best game of the season, 402, 4 touchdowns, 23-27, as many touchdowns as incomplete passes in this one. Terrell Pryor getting a little action, maybe Wildcat. Aaron Rodgers, 364, 3 touchdowns, 2 picks, 17-28, pretty solid in his own right. But without Mostert, we obviously the damage that was done in this game heavily relied on the passing game. But that's still good news when you have someone like Aaron Rodgers under center. Jalen Richard taking over for Josh Jacobs, who I'm guessing was hurt in this one. 16 for 64, did pretty solid. Bunch of fumbles. Devontae Booker and Derek Carr. Receiving wise, Alan Lazard, 1-year pro out of Iowa State, 4 for $143 and a touchdown. Darren Waller doing a little damage, 9 for 119. Dez Bryant, of all players, his single reception going for 87 to the house. Geronimo Allison, 4 for 86. Bunch of touchdowns, obviously. Rashard, Zay Jones, Vincent Smith, and rookie Hunter Renfrow. So go here defensively. Doesn't look like a defensive affair in this one. Sacks for Rashawn Gary and Preston Smith and Markel Lee. As far as NOs go, Obi how the fuck do you say it? Obi Melifonwu with the pick. Trevor Williams with a pick as well. It's a much needed victory for the Oakland Raiders as they're looking to turn things around in the AFC West. As for Green Bay, so look at the playoff division lead here. They still, despite the loss here in this one, a big upset at home, they still have a 2-game lead over the Chicago Bears. So that's nothing to worry about. The suspension might hurt them a little bit, but they're still a really good team overall. And hopefully, by the time these players come back from suspension, they'll be as strong as a team as they were before. As we go here, offensive powerhouse from both teams. I am the GOAT of the LA Rams goes on the road to take on Hoodie Mikey of the Atlanta Falcons. And Hoodie Mikey has been on absolute tear against everybody he's taken on this year. Heading into halftime here, 17-14, close one with the Rams with a 3-point lead. We go here to the third quarter, 24-21, but Atlanta, it was a very close game, and Atlanta made it look like it wasn't. Come fourth quarter, dropping 20. Final score here being 41-27 in the Dome in Atlanta, Georgia. Matt Ryan, 4 touchdowns, 3 picks. Much respect for you, Dolphins. Facts. Shout out to the Dolphins, man. They could play their ass off. 304, 4 touchdowns, 3 picks. Matt Ryan did a bunch of good, but the turnovers definitely hurt them very early on in this one. But he able to engineer a comeback in this one. 20 points in the fourth quarter. Jared Goff, 192 with a touchdown, but there's 2 picks obviously contributed to that comeback, and the 8 sacks as well. E2 Smith taking over for hurt Devontae Freeman, 11 for 84 and a touchdown. Todd Gurley showing flashes of his former self prior to his injury, 11 for 72 and a touchdown as well. Receiving wise, who other than Calvin Ridley putting up crazy numbers? 6 for 225, 3 touchdowns. He's been an absolute terror. 200 receiving yards is his normal, obviously. Since Michael Thomas has been hurt, Atlanta has not missed a beat. It's only fair to wonder, they're 7-1 now, how they will look when Michael Thomas returns. Very scary to think about for all secondaries. Keelan Cole coming over for the Jacksonville Jaguars, 4 for 76 and a touchdown. Brandon Cooks with a lone receiving touchdown for the LA Rams. Defensively, Vic Beasley with another 4-sack game, along with Takk McKinley. Now it's his partner here in crime. 4 sacks for Takk McKinley and an interception, along with a defensive touchdown. Takk McKinley earns Defensive Player of the Week honors for the NFC. Congratulations to the Falcons. Aaron Donald, 2 sacks, along with Michael Brockers and Clay Matthews. 2 picks for Nickel Roby. Yeah, just Rams. They had it. They almost pulled off the upset, but they just could not fight off Calvin Ridley and Matt Ryan come fourth quarter. Missed field goal by Greg Zuerlein, and Marcus Johnson with a kick return going for 105 in this one. Big victory for the Atlanta Falcons to keep things alive in the NFC South. In a very close game. This one's gonna hurt. This is gonna fucking hurt me. But we're gonna get into it. I'll get into it. Your boy, shout out to him, bro. He played a hell of a game.
Real.
Yeah, facts, bro. This game, fucking, I got gameplay. I wish I could show it on here. I'll see if I can. But your boy Jalou 12 of the Houston Texans taking on Boogie by J1 of the Indianapolis Colts in the division game. Texans trying to fight their way up. Colts trying to keep that lead in the AFC South. And wow, Colts at home, they look very comfortable. 21-7 lead at halftime with Deshaun Watson punching in a rushing touchdown with less than 10 seconds to get their first score of the game. Come third quarter, 14 points, making this a 21-21 game. Heading into the fourth quarter, both teams dropping 14 points, 35-35, heading into overtime. Just wow. Indianapolis driving downfield through a red zone pick, and Houston just killing the clock, getting in the field goal territory, and that's all she wrote with a lone field goal for them, getting the victory in Lucas Oil Stadium, 38-35. Deshaun Watson, 390.
Cardinals talking shit.
I see.
I'm not
Fucking
talking shit. I'll take facts.
You're 1-7. I do not want to hear you say shit.
I wanted 6 to be exact. No, never mind. You're right.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay. Yep.
I'll shut up. I'll shut up.
I mean, shit. I give Duke credit, even though I'm not gonna take anything away from him because it's just you gotta exploit some things in the game. But again, I'm not throwing shade at him because he obviously did what he did to make a comeback, man. 392, 4 touchdowns, 2 INTs, 16 for 28, 6 sacks for both quarterbacks. Jacoby Brissett looked very sharp early on in this game, 290 and a touchdown, but the 4 interceptions come crunch time did not help his case to win this game, 23-33. Naheem Hines, 7 carries. All he needed for 79 yards and 2 touchdowns. Deshaun Watson doing a lot of rushing in this one. 12 for 79 and a touchdown. Also a fumble. A little bit of everybody getting run in this game. Lamar Miller shut down. Royce Freeman pushing in 2 goal lines. Brissett, Duke Johnson. This game had a little bit of everything. D-Hop, 3 catches, $164 and 2 touchdowns, beating him on 2 goal routes. Obviously made the huge difference in this one. Darren Fells, tight end, going over 100 yards as well. Trent Taylor leading the way. Larry Fitz doing early on, very good, but ended up getting hurt in this one. Indianapolis was down to 3 receivers. So they obviously have very little to work with, but no excuses. As Will Fuller, 2 touchdowns as well to match D-Hop, 3 for 76. Rashard Matthews, veteran, doing a little work. And touchdown for the fullback as well. When does a fullback ever score with a 4-yard touchdown from the goal line? As far as the sacks, Brendan Scarlett, Jabal Sheard, both teams trading sacks as well. Scored a Innos, Bradley Roby, 2 for himself. Bobby O'Reilly with a pick, Pierre Desir, Jonathan Joseph, Tashawn Gibson. No defensive touchdowns in this one. Very good game here. I can't say anything less about the Houston Texans. They've obviously fought themselves into a victory here to stay alive in that division. They had some struggles very early on in the season, but from recent weeks, they've been able to fight back. So congratulations to them. I definitely look forward to playing you later in the season. Should go here. We're going to get this game over with. Big B Stats 86, staying alive and atop the NFC with a big victory over the Jennings 75, the Washington Redskins, with a forced win for them. Okay, Cardinals, this is your time. This is your time. Co-commissioner Arthur Chaos 97, the Arizona Cardinals, taking on Qua Flox and the New York Giants. What happened here? Obviously, with suspensions handed down to Saquon Barkley for 3 games here, didn't really make a difference. As Giants just were able to score points at will. Arizona didn't have any answers come the second half. Kyler continuing to struggle. $129, 3 INTs, 7 for 16. Not able to do much throughout the air. Daniel Jones, rookie as well, outplaying him despite the three INTs as well. Kareem Hunt running the ball really well. Wayne Gallman in place, absolutely shut down. 2.7 a clip for him. Kenyon Drake getting in the end zone with Kareem Hunt as well. And Elijah Penny, the fullback, scoring a lone rushing touchdown for the Giants. Evan Ingram continuing his tear, 7 for $158 and a touchdown as well. Wayne Gallman with a touchdown. Defensively, 2 sacks for Lorenzo Carter. Dexter Lawrence, the second first-round pick for the New York Giants out of Clemson. 2 sacks for him. 2 picks for Alec Ogletree. 2 for Greedy Williams coming from the Cleveland Browns. Also Jalen Thompson. Cardinals, well, what exactly happened in this game?
So Giants got mad because supposedly I cheated and grabbing information from Brown, but the rules state that nothing about someone else helping you in a game. So he was just complaining the whole game. Brown was just helping me read how the Giants gameplay and stuff. In the first quarter, the first play, he used Saquon Barkley when he wasn't supposed to. The 6 sacks again is me trying to run with Kyler, but unsuccessfully I can't because of him running into my own lineman.
Yeah. So I mean, obviously everybody knows how talented Kyler Murray is, how great of a player he can be. Also with the X factor as well. Um, what exactly has been the case for him struggling so much this year?
That's on my end.
So is it in terms of playbook or playing style?
I probably gotta change my playbook. Most
Um,
likely.
if you feel comfortable, who exactly are you running with right now?
I'm running with the Oakland Raiders playbook.
Oh, okay. Generally, this it's probably in terms of like versatility, the best playbook in Madden. You could do almost every formation in that playbook. I've had that playbook as well, but it just dried out for me. So the past 4 games, including the Texans game, I've played with different playbooks. In the Texans game, I played with the Rams. The week before that, I played with the Saints. The week before that, it was my last game with Oakland. This past week against the Broncos, I'm not gonna tell anybody. But yeah, that's
Let me get that. Let me get that.
I'm gonna shoot you a DM real quick.
Yeah.
But yeah, Cardinals. So I mean, so obviously you already stated that you're tanking, right?
Yeah.
What do you feel like your team needs the most?
An old line, middle linebackers, and let's see, left ends, left end and right end. That is, but
Okay,
mostly defense over offense.
okay.
And speaking of defense, Jalen Thompson in that game has gotten a star, I believe.
Yeah, probably possibly that game. Week 8 is where you get superstar, I believe, right?
Yes.
All right. So I mean, you got some young players to build around. So I mean, not everything's cloudy over there. Yeah, I mean, you still got a bunch of guys to build with. So yeah, I mean, it looks to be a long season for you, but I mean, if you make some changes, who knows? But CPU game here. Former Chargers gets the win, 49-14 here. Saints on the road. Your boy Juju trying to take a lead away for the Atlanta Falcons atop the NFC South. Going on the road to Soldier Field in Chicago, taking on Papa Gator 33. Absolute slapping here. 43-20 final score here. Just wasn't fair. Dropping 26 in the second quarter. Second half heading in there, it was 29-13. Dropped another 14. Didn't do anything in the fourth. Yeah, that was it. Drew Brees being Drew Brees. Pretty even in here. 271, 2 touchdowns, 2 picks, 11-16. Mitchell Trubisky continuing to struggle with 4 interceptions, 2 touchdowns, 173. Alvin Kamara going absolutely nuts. 25 for $158, 4 touchdowns. Cohen doing pretty solid himself. Julio almost cracking 200 in this one. 5 for $195, 2 touchdowns. Trey Burton 2 touchdowns as well. Despite that, Cameron Jordan with another 3-sack game under his belt this season. 2 picks for Tyrann Mathieu. That's nothing new. As the Saints, obviously chugging forward atop the NFC. As for the Bears, they're in second place, but they reside 3-4, 2 games behind the Green Bay Packers and the NFC North. So there's still hope for the Bears to turn things around, but come very late in the season, they have to win these games. So we get here to Seattle's game. Your boy JoJo, 27, the Baltimore Ravens takes on Perk K2 of YouTube. You said Force win? Oh, facts. Yeah, that was facts. I mean, he has a good team, so I mean, when shit like that happens, if you have a good team, I would assume you want to play your games, but
Yeah,
I guess not.
I don't think he was there. I don't think he was home.
Damn. Was it just
The
to get?
cult is speaking.
You said what?
I thought the ghost is speaking. We got a couple problems though.
Well, what are you talking about?
We need Vikings and Patriots to become owners.
Yeah. I mean, if you want to do it, I'll do it after the recap.
Yeah, I'll text them now.
Alright, bet. Alright. We're gonna get this game out the way. Pats with a forced one victory of the New York Jets and a much needed victory in the AFC East. Aim 3 balling out for Philadelphia Eagles in a highly anticipated Sunday night football game heading to Dallas, Jerry's World, taking on Taz Giants Y of the Dallas Cowboys. And Cowboys obviously edging him out by a field goal in this one. Halftime 14-10, Eagles up, dropping 10 in the third to make this 20-14. Just wasn't enough for the Eagles as they outscored Dallas in the fourth quarter, but the 3 points made a difference. Dak Prescott playing perfect, 300 for 3 touchdowns, 24 of 28. Absolutely dissected the Eagles secondary, 272, 2 touchdowns, 23 at 25. Wentz, you could say he played even better than Prescott despite the 1 passing touchdown. Both quarterbacks put on a display. Zeke Elliott almost cracking 100 in this one, 16 for 97. Miles Sanders doing pretty well himself, having a really good season for the Eagles. Wentz, despite the 1 less passing touchdown, gets into the end zone himself, but has a lone fumble in this one, which probably made the difference, along with Miles Sanders. Jordan Howard getting a rushing touchdown as well. Amari Cooper, 9 for 109, 2 touchdowns. Zach Ertz, 7 for 101. Zeke Elliott almost cracked 100 on the ground, almost cracks 100 throughout the air, 6 for 95, and a touchdown as well. Alshon Jeffries getting into the red zone as well. So you go here to the sack category, just everybody joining in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 players with a total of a sack each. As far as picks, like I said, quarterbacks absolutely putting on a perfect display of passing attack from both ends. As Dallas Cowboys edge out the Eagles Sunday Night Football. That's it for Week 7 as we finally make it to Week 8. A bunch of teams on bye this week, so this has been a pretty shortened week. But as we get to the top...
Don't go over my game.
Don't go over it. I know. Yeah, it's gonna... Oh, man, you're second, too. Oh, shit. This one's gonna hurt.
God.
This is gonna hurt, man.
You should go over his game first.
No, don't do that. Don't do that.
Shit. I mean, we're gonna have to, bro, because Ridley, that's all I'm saying.
Yeah,
Jennings, 75 for the Washington Redskins, goes on the road to take on former Minnesota Vikings owner, what was it, Zenefy or some shit like that?
I don't even know.
Some shit like that.
Yeah. What was something like that?
Stay alive in the NFC East. Very tight division. Almost tied in that division. Dwayne Haskins, 240, 2 touchdowns and a pick. He played pretty well in this one, 17 of 23. Kirk Cousins, coming from a 5-touchdown game the previous week, struggled mightily this week, 173 and only an interception, now reaching the end zone in this one. No Dalvin Cook, 4 for 33, presumably got hurt as the rookie out of Boise State, Alexander Madison, 12 for 70 and a touchdown in this one, leading all rushers. And nothing from the Redskins on the ground. Stephon Diggs continuing his tear this year, 6 for a $141. All the other receivers, Sammy Watkins, Jordan Leggett, reaching the end zone. But that's pretty much it. Defensively, 2 sacks for Daniel Hunter and a bunch of other guys solo for picks, Xavier Rhodes, Reuben Foster. But pretty quiet game, pretty boring game as far as the box score tells, but much needed victory for the Redskins as they advance to 4-4, tied at the bottom of the NFC East with the Philadelphia Eagles. As Dallas goes 4-3, and we'll get to the Giants in the second. But Seahawks, I know you don't want to talk about this, but we're gonna talk about it. Perk 2K, Perk 2K, YouTube, Seattle Seahawks goes on the road to face Hoodie Mikey of the Atlanta Falcons. Nobody has had an answer for the Falcons. I mean, okay, just look at the box score real quick. 2014, 6-7. Yeah. Before we get into stats, please do.
All right. So
what happened?
The way the ground was, you know what I'm saying? I couldn't like throw the ball, notice I run the ball, you know what I'm saying? Because like the atmosphere today, it was like it felt like it was gonna rain.
Bullshit.
You know what I'm saying? So I couldn't do anything about it, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And then like, let me stop playing. I'm just ass. That nigga's just good. My man goated, bro.
Nah, he's hella good, without a doubt. You know what I'm saying?
He just goated. I think he's the best player in this league. I don't know. I want to see
Possibly,
him versus
yeah, man.
Bills. I want to see him versus Bills. Hey,
Man,
Bills.
stop playing. We all know who the best player is here, bro. It's me.
Yeah, Cardinals.
You know what? Now that y'all bring that up, I might take a league poll of who y'all think. Might do a power ranking based on skill. Who are the best players in the league?
Yeah.
We might do that.
1-6.
Oh shit! I'm gonna go fucking last.
I'll hold myself 15th. I'm goated like that. I can do that.
Okay.
I think you're more like 20.
I'm more like 20, bitch. You're more like 32.
Like I'm 34. All right. I'm a non-existent number. That's a fucking NFL.
Just to get, we're gonna get some more questions out of you in a second, but just to run the stats real quick. 6-12 out of Matt Ryan, 6 touchdowns. The only 3 picks. It's crazy. 6 touchdowns, 612 yards. Only 14 completed passes. That is crazy.
I can explain.
Matt Russell, despite the 4 picks, played pretty solid, but the 4 picks, obviously detriment. 279, 2 touchdowns. Chris Carson getting to the end zone, along with E2 Smith. Russell doing a little work on the ground as well, but wow. Obviously, needless to say, Calvin Ridley, 555 receiving yards, 11 catches, 5 touchdowns. Absolutely absurd. Yeah, surprisingly enough, the 555 yards is second all time in NFL history.
Actually, hold on. I can explain the 4 picks.
Oh, please don't.
Okay, so you see Turner, he had a development trait. He needed 100 yards or 2 touchdowns. So most of the game until like 4th quarter, I was forcing it to him. Cause I need that trait,
Right. Makes sense.
Yeah.
Show me proof. Show me proof.
Show you proof. Hold on, I sent it in the go to development traits in the
Okay.
Well, no, I didn't send it, but like it gave him 7 upgrades, like 7 attribute upgrades.
Okay. Gee, now I gotta make sure,
Yeah, I got you.
Fucking Ridley's obviously.
Fuck the Falcons, you're too good.
Yeah, that's probably what everybody's thinking right now. You know what I mean? He beat me. He beat you. He beat the Cardinals. Only team he hasn't beat.
49ers.
Yeah, definitely Niners. Yeah, facts. He hasn't beat the Bills yet, but I mean, shit, yeah, Falcons on the tear, man.
Man, he didn't beat me. I let him win.
You let him win?
Yeah, I let him win. I almost beat him. Shit, almost beat him, but I mean, he did pretty good.
You know what fucked me up when I was versus him is that I cover
you
really.
can't throw the ball. That's what messed you up.
Hey, shut the fuck up. All right. What happened is that when I covered really too late at the end of the game. That's how you won. Cause I thought he's gonna throw it to until MT comes back.
Yeah. Bro. When Michael Thomas come back, we're dead. That's all I got to say.
Yeah, he's gonna be fucking hard as shit.
We ain't gonna know which one to guard.
Facts. Because Ridley's gonna see number 2, and that's even gonna be worse. Because he's seeing number 1s right now. Damn. Yeah.
This is a scary sighting. All in favor suspending Calvin Ridley and Michael Thomas, say aye.
Aye.
Yeah. That man got to go. He has to leave.
Yeah, he's snapping, man. He's fucking crazy.
Fucking us up. That's what he's doing. I'm scared.
Just to get this game out the way, man. Just second all time receiving yards in a single game. You probably ask yourself, who the hell has more yards than this in a single game? That goes to D.D. Westbrook of the New Orleans Saints,
Oh shit.
going for 565. So 10 more yards than Kevin
Really
Ridley.
got it.
Yes, sir. Nigga named D.D. got it.
Look, this is what happened, right? So me and him made a deal. I helped him out. He helped me out. And that's how Thomas got his Thompson got his development tree.
Okay.
So you're
So
cheating. Okay, kick him.
it was like a win-win. Shit. Man, I kicked myself out.
Fucking Turner going over 100 yards, touchdown. Tyler almost joining him there, reaching the end zone as well. Killing Cole with a touchdown. Sack party, 3 sacks for Von Miller, former Denver Bronco. Alex Okafor with 2 himself. A bunch of others solo. Pick party. Quandre Diggs. You see the names here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 guys with picks in this game. No kicking whatsoever in this one. It's just wow. Just
Field goal.
is anybody gonna stop Calvin Ridley? That's the question. 8
No, is
weeks.
anybody gonna stop Falcons?
Facts. Is anybody gonna stop Hoodie Mike P, the Atlanta
To be real
Falcons?
with you, all you gotta do is enter Matt Ryan and he's fucked. That's all you gotta do.
That's
Injure
true.
Matt Ryan.
He could run with
Alright.
Freeman though. But I mean,
Freeman's injured.
Let's jump him. Let's jump him.
Freeman's injured. I injured him.
but
Jump
for
Matt
how
Ryan.
long?
I'll start right now. I'll check right now.
Just to get this out, Jake Ripper with the force win over CPU Tennessee Titans as Buccaneers advance up the NFC South division 2-5,
Buccaneers
still at the
ducking.
basement.
That's
So,
what I'm playing.
both-
He's ducking.
Both Freeman and Thomas are out for 5 more weeks, but Freeman has an early return.
He ain't gonna return him. He don't want to get him hurt again. That's
Facts.
the same thing I had with Derrick Henry. I was gonna get him hurt because I'm versus the Bills, but next week I versus Niners. I gotta play him because I'm gonna need him.
It just I hate to say it, one ass whipping to another. The Cardinals, Ultra Chaos,
At least
takes
I
on-
didn't score 14 fucking points this time. Alright?
Yeah, he had hella points.
True. Yeah, he put up a fight.
New Orleans is probably trying to let him score.
Shit.
No.
They can shoot
27
clock.
in the third. Yeah, you put up a fight, but Kyler, what's up, bro? I mean, you got Kyler Murray throwing 5 picks.
And I told him to trade Kyler Murray for Wilson.
Fuck no. Wilson's old.
Bro, in a package deal, bro, that's goated.
No, I'm
trying
not
to help
giving you
you
my
out.
first. I'm not giving you my first. You can suck a dick.
Why? Come on, bro. Wait, it's before draft time. Come on, I'll trade him. Come on, let's go.
No, nigga, you ain't getting shit.
What you mean I'm not getting shit? Fucking op. Why do you keep cutting?
I'll make a
Whoever.
one-on-one deal with you, Cards.
Fuck you. Nope.
Josh Allen for Kyler Murray.
Hell no.
Shots out
What
for
do you mean?
Kyler.
Hell no.
Hell no.
That's goated.
Yes.
You're gonna have to wait till 95 to get Escape Artist.
For real, you gotta wait till 95.
And you gotta wait until fucking until what's his name is Chandler Jones, whatever the fuck that nigga name is, to get to 99 to be a good quarterback.
To Talon
You talking
Jones.
about Josh Allen?
Right. He
Josh
lost.
Allen, him too.
As far man, like, we're gonna run down this game, and I got a couple questions for you. If I haven't asked you enough already, fucking 27 points dropped by the Saints in the third quarter. Kyler Murray continued to
Damn.
struggle. 147 touchdown, 5 picks for Murray. Just we're gonna go look at the season stats leaders for every statistic, so stay tuned for that. Drew Brees, quiet game for him. 115, 2 INTs. So credit to the Cardinals for shutting down the passing game. But they did put up over 48 points. So Breeze not doing no damage. You know who did. And that goes to Alvin Kamara. 227 for 266, 6 touchdowns, which is number 1 for most rushing touchdowns in a single game in NFL history. Congratulations to Alvin Kamara and the New Orleans
Keep
Saints.
breaking records, yo. We gotta kick him out too. He gotta go.
Saints and Falcons, they going crazy, man. I don't know what it is.
That trade was a win-win situation.
It really was. That was probably
They both doing good.
And the fact that they helped each other out and they're in the same division, that's even crazier. So they gotta see each other, like, man.
I want to see what's gonna happen when they play each other. I got my money on Falcons though.
Ooh, I might say the same. True. Especially if you get Freeman back. Kenyon Drake, 5 for 62, did really well with the 5 carries he had in this one. Breeze, 3 turnovers, 2 picks, and a forced fumble in this one. Julio, nobody really doing anything throughout the air in this one, despite Christian Kirk getting to the end zone. Julio, 3 for 60. Didi, quiet game, 4 for 44. Defensively, though, Marcus Davenport, Cameron Jordan, lone sacks in this one, none for the Cardinals. But Jalen Thompson earning Defensive Player of the Week honors, rookie out of Washington State. 7 tackles, 2 INTs, 2 defensive touchdowns for him. So congratulations to the Cardinals for that, as he earned Superstar. Deron Lee, Tyrann Mathieu, Alex Anzalone, Chauncey Gardner-Johnson, and Janoris Jenkins all have something in common. They all have interceptions. Will Lutz with the lone missed field goal in this one for the Saints. And Andy Isabella with a 93-yard kick return for a touchdown. Despite that, that's all she wrote. Cardinals. I know you said earlier you're gonna try and possibly change your playbook. Have you felt the same about your defensive playbook?
No.
He coming field defense, bro. He being disrespectful.
I'm just saying. What do you run right now? If you want to put it out there, I mean.
Saints.
You run Saints?
Yep.
So.
I found the most basic playbooks in the game.
Oh,
Hey,
Bill's
how about
throwing
you go
shots.
fuck yourself?
Oh shit.
Bill's throwing shots.
They got one of the best defensive playbooks out there.
The best ones, in my
how to use
opinion, it depends if you run a 3-4, 4-3, or you like a hybrid. Like, if you want like the hybrid, go Patriots, or Lions. Patriots, Lions. If you like to run like a 3-4, Jets are really good. You could definitely use the Giants. If you like to use 4-3, definitely go Cincinnati Bengals. They probably got the best 4-3 defense in the book. Despite that, there's a couple other ones. Baltimore as well. Just Buffalo has a pretty solid one as well. But
Ravens need to trade me Lamar. I get Lamar and be the best player in the league.
And trade deadline is already done.
I know. But I'm talking about next season. Next season,
He's not gonna do that shit.
next season I'm gonna fuck niggas up with Lamar.
He's not gonna trade you for Lamar.
I know.
Yeah,
I
you
know.
should just give up.
That's his franchise player, like me. I'm the franchise player of our 2K.
Motherfucker got Derrick Henry and
I know I got Derrick.
Chris Carson.
I want to trade Chris Carson. I want to trade Chris Carson. No one wants Chris Carson.
I'll take Carson. Shit, I need a running back. Matt, what? I lied.
You need a running back, bro. Come on, I got you. You need a running back. I got you, bro.
Well, we can talk.
It's an agency deal. I can get you that good stuff. You know
Good stuff.
He wants a pick. You gotta want a pick.
Yeah.
No, I don't even want to pick. What you got to give?
I don't got shit. If you look at my roster, bro, my team.
Well, it's looking like I'm gonna need a pick.
I mean, I don't know. We'll talk. I got 4 seconds, so.
A first and a third.
Okay. Moving on to the next game.
A first and a fourth. There you go.
First and a fourth? Nah,
Yeah.
I don't need running back that bad. No, can't.
Yeah, you need to run it back that bad, bro. All right, a second and a third.
I mean, my backup running back superstar. So I mean,
But is he X Factor? Does he have wrecking ball?
nah, he's
Yeah,
dumb fast though,
yeah,
super
yeah.
fast.
Chris Carson is super fast. You know what I'm saying?
You would
Bullshit.
lie. Who are you lying
Bullshit.
to?
You
I ain't
bullshit.
lying to nobody.
You told
I ain't
me
lying to
that he's
nobody.
slow as shit. I ain't
Shut
trying
up.
to hear
Shut
that.
up.
Okay, he's at 88 speed. Like it's slow as shit. My
All he
grandpa
needs is
could
some
run faster than
okay.
him.
He could break
Your
hella
grandpa can
tackles,
run
but
faster than him. Yeah, he can break hella tackles. He a tank. But he gets like too much contact and like he runs into too much people and it brings him down. Cause like the way his body built. Same with Derrick Henry. I
yeah,
gotta run
facts.
outside zones with Derrick Henry. I can't like run straight up the middle. But that big ass nigga.
He ran to everybody that look at him.
For his
Bro, if you close to him,
let me just we're gonna knock out these force one games real quick. Henry Jr. Obviously takes that L for not showing up against the LA Rams. LA Rams with another win for them. NFC West picture. Jags with a force win over the New York Jets. Ballin takes that L for not showing up against the Buffalo Bills. Buffalo advances to the top of the AFC picture, as we'll get to in a short second. So as we bang out the rest of the games real quick. CPU Chargers, former owner,
Got kicked.
right? If you've been living under a fucking rock, Chargers got caught editing players such as Devlin Hodges, who's a 59 overall, and just somehow fucking got Superman powers. 77. I don't know how he thought he wasn't gonna get caught, but yeah, you got caught, buddy. Yeah, damn shame because he was co-commissioner, man. But you know what I mean? Shit happens.
And there is guys too. He also added him too.
Facts, right? So
Try to change his abilities.
it is what it is. You know what I mean?
Another thing. Apparently,
He's what he
guys
is.
is actually a superstar, not a star. So I gotta fix that.
Right? Yeah. Facts. Quad Flax of the New York Giants goes on the road to take on Fiesta OJ. And Fiesta, I mean,
hold on. I got something to say.
what's up?
Whoever watching the stream, I'm gonna give y'all a kiss because y'all been here the whole time. Y'all welcome.
It's me, bro. I'm on the stream.
Yeah, you loyal.
Bro, it's because I can't look at his stream, so I don't know what he's looking at. So.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Wait, I gotta give myself a kiss.
Credit to OJ with the Lions. I mean, he hasn't.
Oh.
Yeah, facts. OJ, I mean, he hasn't been. I mean, from what I've seen from the box score, it hasn't been very good, but at least he's active. So credit for him to doing that. I mean, 142, a pick for Matthew Stafford, 14-21. Daniel Jones, 12 of 20, 3 touchdowns, 2 picks, 250. Having a pretty solid rookie campaign. And ironically enough, with the suspension of Saquon Barkley, Giants get in a last-minute trade at the trade deadline for Kerryon Johnson, who ironically enough is the Detroit Lions starting running back. So in a revenge game, very first week since the trade, 18 carries, 174, and a touchdown for Kerryon Johnson, showing the Lions what they missed out on. Joe Williams, 11-47, did all right, but just wasn't enough. Evan Ingram, 7 for 206 and a touchdown. Pretty normal for him at this point. 5 for 75 for Marvin Jones. Touchdowns for Darius Slayton and Kerryon Johnson. Defensively, who did the most damage. A bunch of sacks for a bunch of guys. As far as the picks, Alec Ogletree, Tracy Walker, Miles Killebrew. 2 lone field goals for the Lions as the Giants get another victory as they lead the NFC East 6-2, 2-game lead over the Dallas Cowboys at 4-3, Philly at 4-4, Washington at 4-4. So we go here to the next game, all the way to the Texans' big victory over the Indianapolis Colts last week. As Oakland had a big victory last week against Green Bay, fell back down to earth. 12-24 victory for the Houston Texans at home. Let's see what happened here. Heading into halftime, 12-7 for Oakland, and then after that, Oakland just couldn't do anything offensively. Terrell Pryor got a little action, but Carr, 5 interceptions, obviously not good enough to keep the lead in this one. Deshaun Watson struggled as well, only completing 2 passes, but 128 yards. How is that even possible? 128 yards off of 2 completed passes. That's retarded. How if what's the math on that? That's like it's like both passes going for like what 65, 67 yards each. That's crazy.
Yes. Stay in school, kids.
Facts.
But this don't go right now. Okay.
The Lamar Miller, DeAndre Hopkins both getting 10 touches each, rushing position, having some pretty solid games. Duke Johnson not running very good, but gets into the end zone. Receiving wise, Tyrell Williams 6 for $130 and a touchdown. Will Fuller obviously lone reception for 76 yards and a touchdown. The only other reception was Duke Johnson, 52 yards. So there goes the math there. 76 for 52 as well for Deshaun Watson. As far as sacks go, Max Crosby, the rookie out of Eastern Michigan, 3 for himself. Brandon Marshall, Markel Lee with 2. Whitney Merciless and Brendan Scarlett with 2 sacks themselves. LaMarcus Joyner, Gary and Conley, both 2 INTs apiece. That pretty much all she wrote here is Oakland takes another L at the bottom of the AFC West picture. As for Houston, definitely fighting their way up to chase the Indianapolis Colts as well as the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Fuck
For the
Colts.
Oh, it's like that. I don't know. Nah, we don't play each other this week, damn, or this year. Fuck.
Yeah. Find me in the playoffs if I make it.
Got you.
Wait, why am I questioning myself? I'm gonna make it. Don't worry.
I'm gonna make it. Is decisive for the Carolina Panthers, taking on Big B Staz 86 of the San Francisco 49ers, and in this game, Matt Breida ended up getting hurt, who has been the workhorse for the San Francisco 49ers, the vocal point for them. Jimmy Garoppolo, Niners finally forced to pass, and he passed perfectly. 282, 3 touchdowns, 19-23. Very good game for Jimmy G. Cam Newton, 222 and a touchdown.
49ers passed the ball?
Yes, sir. Shocking, man. Yup.
How many yards?
282, 3 touchdowns, 19-23.
Oh my god.
Niners put up some numbers throughout the air in this one. Yes, sir.
Oh, it's showing that he can throw the ball. Okay.
I never hear him fucking throw the ball. I only see him run.
That's what I'm saying. He can run the ball. He probably be lagging. That's why he don't throw the ball. Fucking Central
Right.
Wi-Fi.
He got
You get
that Netgear Wi-Fi.
That way said Netgear. Spectrum. Yeah.
He
Hell
got
no.
that be down free Wi-Fi.
If he was in here, I know he'd be mad.
Yeah, I know, right? I'm waiting for him to say something.
He taking a long ass shower. Is he on the game?
Nah.
He's waiting for us to invite him. He's waiting for us to invite him.
Damn, for real? Why did y'all say? Alright. Oh, alright. Oh, a view for suggested players. Okay, yeah. I allowed him, so he could join whenever you want.
This is good beef. Yes, sir.
Lindsey, 18 for 54. Not the best game for him on the ground. Neither was it for Jamal Williams with 2.7 a clip, but found the end zone twice. Tevin Coleman running pretty well. As we go to receiving wise, Deebo Samuels, rookie out of South Carolina, 6 for 90. DJ Moore, 6 for 89, nearly identical. 6 for 75 for Kittle. A long 75-yard touchdown for Dante Pettis. Touchdowns for Philip Lindsay, Marquez Valdes-Scantling, and Emmanuel Sanders. As we go to the sack department here, 2 for D4, 1 for DeForest Buckner. INTs, surprisingly none here. Missed field goal by Graham Gano, going 2 or 3 in this one. That's all she wrote. San Fran walks away with a victory over Carolina Panthers as they stay atop the NFC with several other teams we'll get to in a second. 4 games left. We're almost done this card for Week 8. Big win for Pair Premium, the Cleveland Browns over CBK 4KT of the New England Patriots. 31-10 victory. Yes, sir. 4K tree. Dropping 3-3 neck and neck in the first half. And then after that, Cleveland said, let me stop playing with this little boy. Dropping 14 in the third and the fourth quarter. 31-10. Just
Browns a little bit though, when you think about it.
Why? Why you say that?
I don't know.
Yo, no. All right. Baker struggled in this one. Also, as well as Brady, who's been the theme for New England this season. 194, 2 touchdowns, 5 interceptions. Possibly the worst game of the year for Baker Mayfield. 9-21. Brady not doing well at all. Nick Chubb, 22 for $109 and a touchdown as well. James White, 12 for 43, not doing nothing at all. Odell Beckham, 4 for $140, 2 touchdowns. Despite the bad game for Baker, that chemistry between them two has been elite this year. Benjamin Watson, 4 for 93 and a touchdown for the 15-year pro out of Georgia. How's he still playing? To go to sack party here, there wasn't one. 2 for Myles Garrett, 1 for Larry Ogunjobi, and Olivier Vernon. None for the New England Patriots, surprisingly. But 2 picks for Patrick Peterson, formerly traded from the Arizona Cardinals, surprisingly. Stephon Gilmore, 2 picks as well, and a bunch of others joining in. That's all she wrote. Cleveland moving up the ladder in the AFC North. As for New England, not doing so well as they're at the bottom, joining the Jets in the AFC East. Big time game here, 4 o'clock game. El De Niro, the Denver Broncos, taking on Boogie Bajay, the Indianapolis Colts. And yeah, this was a really good game, very good game. I give him that, man. He had me on the edge of my seat in this one, as I dropped 14 in the first quarter here, but started off with a big run from Nyheim Hines, and Nyheim Hines was the story of this game, as we'll get to in a second. 14-7 the first, 21-14 second half. Heading in the fourth quarter, 21-21, but Indy turned on their defense finally and was able to get a big-time interception in crunch time under 2 minutes, which sealed the game here, and a defensive touchdown out of this, as they get a victory in Lucas Oil Stadium to stay atop the AFC South picture, 28-21. Go ahead to the stats real quick. Drew Lock did pretty well this season, struggled in this one. 217, 2 touchdowns, 4 INTs, 13-21, nearly identical to Jacoby Brissett, despite him not reaching the end zone. 183, 3 INTs. Not a very good game out of Brissett. Looked very good early on, but come the second half, just could not get anything going. But Nyheim Hines earning superstar trait in this one. 13 carries is all he needed for $124, 3 touchdowns for him. Christian McCaffrey, 18 for 89 and a touchdown, did very good in his own right. But DK Metcalf, 3 for 90 and a touchdown. CMC doing it all on the ground in the air. 6 for 79 and a touchdown. Larry Fitz, of all people, 2 catches, 77 yards. Outside of that, it's very quiet for everyone else. 2 sacks for Jabal Shear, 1 for Bradley Chubb, who was formerly traded for the Denver Broncos in a revenge game of sorts in this one. INTs for everybody. Will Parks, Kareem Jackson, Hooker, Simmons, Kyrie Willis, and Kenny Moore. It was a very good game. It was very fun to play against the Denver Broncos. He's a pretty solid opponent, man. But yeah, CMC is, if you played against him, he's an issue if you know how to use him right, you know. Yeah, that boy 99 for a reason. He could catch. He mossed me in this one. I was mad as hell, but he almost had to come back on me.
You still won. It's okay. It's okay. Don't cry. You still won.
Facts. I would. I've won because I knew it was like fourth down. He was like at his own. He was somewhere within his own 20-yard line. It was like probably 15.
Did you stream it?
No, I didn't. I should have, but I was scared to lag. So I'll probably stream my next game.
To lag?
You've been a pussy.
I'll be in pussy.
You've been a pussy.
Alright, I'm gonna stream my. Who did I play? I play Steelers this week. So, but their fucking force wins. So, because their CPU.
We got.
No, we got Steelers. We got one.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. So if he joins, I'll fucking play him. So I'll probably stream it. But if I lag, fuck y'all. I'm about to do no lag.
How about you share play it and I'll stream it?
All right,
Boom.
bet,
You
bet,
can't.
bet.
Can you do that? I don't think you
I
can.
don't know. I don't know.
Um,
Where'd the
yeah, you
shot
can,
guys?
right? Okay.
No, I don't
I
think you
think
can.
because in the Sherpa, you're still in the game, right?
I guess. I mean, as long as you don't give the player the controller, right?
Yeah. I could just watch. Ooh, I get the live show. Ooh.
And for the last game of the recap, BDG clears the Green Bay Packers, going up against Patty
Mm-hmm.
Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs. Your boy Jay Wills, 28, looking to rebound. Um, and obviously he did, dropping 47 against the Green Bay Packers. 47-35 final score in Arrowhead Stadium here. So we'll go to the box score real quick. Just craziness. 17-13, 14. Green Bay did not have an answer for the Kansas City Chiefs, as Patty Mahomes earning AFC Offensive Player of the Week honors, dropping 5 touchdowns, 388, lone interception, 5 carries for 45 yards as well. Congratulations to KC. Aaron Rodgers matching him with 5 touchdowns apiece in this one. Almost same in yardage as well, but the 4 INTs definitely made a difference in this one. Damian Williams did pretty well all season. Not really good yards per carry wise, but got into the end zone, and that's what matters. 218 for Allen Lazard, putting up crazy numbers without Devontae Adams. Miko Hartman, 6 for $166, 3 touchdowns. Kelsey going over for 100. Tyreek Hill, you can't control him, you can't contain him. Gets into the end zone as usual, 2 for 93. Des Bryant, Demarcus Robinson joining them as well. As we get to the sack party, Chris Jones, 3 for himself. Preston Smith, 2. Braylon Speaks, and a bunch of others with 1 as well. Eli Apple leading the way with 2 picks, along with Brashad Breeland and Juan Thorhill, with Tramon Williams getting a lone pick for the Green Bay Packers. And then after that, that's all she wrote. KC getting another victory here, as we're finally done with Week 8 with all the games here. As we're just gonna
Ooh.
Dolphins with a 1-point victory over the CPU Steelers. Congratulations to them. Is they're definitely a team to look out for. But we're gonna go to the standings real quick before we get to the season stats so far midway throughout the season. As we go here, we're gonna go division by division before we go conferences. AFC North, B-More, Browns tied 5-2 at the very top. Obviously gonna see who's gonna keep that division crown come playoff time. Bengals 3-5, Steelers 2-5 at the basement. Jaguars 5-3.
Steelers, I'm gonna tell you that right now. Steelers are only 2-5 because they get forced losses due to CPU.
True, but that was only like the last 2 weeks.
Exactly. So, if we probably most likely if we would have had a user, that it would have been like switched around.
That doesn't make sense though.
He would have been 4-4.
I mean, who
You
knows?
never
I
know.
mean, yeah,
Never know.
because Steelers got a team. They got a really good defense. So I mean, I'll be on in a sec. All right, yeah, Niners say he's gonna join in a minute.
His brother playing. Okay.
As we go to the AFC South, Jaguars 5-3 with a 1-game lead over the Indianapolis Colts. Texans right on their heel, 4-4. Titans in the basement, 2-6. Buffalo, like I just said, 6-1, the top of the AFC, have a 2-game lead over the Miami Dolphins, who are hunting them down. Obviously, they're definitely a team to look out for. Patriots 3-5, struggling. Jets, you could write them off until next year at 0-7. I believe they're the only team in the league who still doesn't have a win. We'll get to that in a minute. KC 6-3, Broncos 5-3, Chargers 5-3. This is a very close division. It's gonna be very interesting to see who gets the wild card spots. Will it be the Ravens? Will it be the Colts? Will it be the Broncos or Chargers? Who knows? But the AFC playoff picture so far looks kind of deep. And the Raiders at 3-4 at the basement. NFC North here, Packers with a 2-game lead at 5-3 over the 3-4 Bears, 2-7 for the Vikings. Lions joining the Jets as the only teams without a victory this year at 0-7. Saints, Falcons, 7-1 apiece. Obviously, both of these teams doing damage. Both very unstoppable. It's gonna be very interesting to see exactly who wins out in this division, especially when they have to play each other in the next couple weeks. I would like to see these two teams play each other in the playoffs. That would be even better. Obviously, with two teams at 7-1, the other two teams have to be very low, and they're both at 2-5 with the Panthers and Bucks in the basement. NFC East here, 6-2 for the Giants with a 2-game lead over the Dallas Cowboys, 4-3. Eagles, Redskins, pretty much tied with them. So very close division here. Any of those teams could swap for second place. Let's go to the NFC West final division. 49ers 6-1, Rams 4-4, 2 games behind. Seattle 3-5, and in the basement the Arizona Cardinals, but at least they have a victory. Waiting for the bye week to come up here. But as far as we go here, we're going to do a top 10 power ranking. Saints, number 1. Bills, number 2. Falcons, 3. Niners, 4. You see it here. Giants, 5. Chiefs, 6. Ravens, 7. Cleveland, number 8. Green Bay, number 9. And the Denver Broncos, Jacksonville Jaguars, and the LA Chargers all tied at 5-3 for 10th place. Bunch of teams here, 4-3 and 4-4. Anything can happen. It is only week 9, so stay tuned for that. And just to go over here pretty quickly, first time this season, we're gonna look at the season stats for every team. Within that, we're gonna do team stats. That remains to be seen. We'll get to that in a second. But as far please don't look at that. We're gonna go here real quick to the passing stats for every team. Going here, as far as passing yardage, who else do we expect to be number 1? Patrick Mahomes leading the way with almost 3,000 yards halfway through the season. Will he pass for 6,000? Who knows, but it's definitely possible with the weapons he has at his display. Aaron Rodgers coming in 2nd place. Matt Ryan, 3rd. Drew Brees, 4th. Daniel Jones, the rookie, in 5th place. Who comes right behind him? Drew Lock and a bunch of others. Lamar, Tyree Jackson, and another rookie. The rookie class of quarterbacks this year has absolutely been A1, so look out for that. Leading the way in completions, Rodgers, Allen, Lamar, Haskins, another rookie, and Ryan Tannehill. As far as passing touchdowns, we just went over it. Patty Mahomes, Rodgers and Brees, and Matt Ryan tied 24th in 2nd place. Daniel Jones in 3rd. Drew Lock, Tyree Jackson, rookies at 4th place. Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson in 5th. As far as getting to the bad, we always cover the good, but we also cover the bad here. So, leading the way in interceptions, 34 interceptions midway throughout the season. Kyler Murray, 1st-round pick, Heisman Trophy winner out of Oklahoma, 34 interceptions in 8 games.
Damn.
34 picks, 5 INTs. I mean,
What's the average for that?
I don't mean to amplify that number, but that's, I mean, wow. I mean,
Yeah, some of those kids are lag, you know.
No, don't
He's
blame
throwing
lag.
4.25
Yeah, I
picks per
did. The
game.
first, remember, I was
Oh my
using the
God.
hotspot for like 3 weeks.
so, yeah, Kyler leads the way with 34 picks. I mean, we went
He's
over
out
it.
there, bro.
God.
But we'll get to that in a second. But is that worse to somebody we'll get to in a second? Russell, 2nd place with 25 interceptions. Jacoby
can't talk
Brissett
shit.
in 3rd
Can't talk
place
shit.
with 23. So, yeah, it's kind of sad when you have 3 or 4 people on the recap in the top 5 interceptions. All with 21, Pat Mahomes, Rodgers, Brady, and Matthew Stafford, 21 picks, 1 passing touchdown. He hasn't even cracked 1,000 yards yet. That's look who it
49ers.
is. 49ers joining us here just in time. Wow, I don't know. What do you guys feel is worse? 5 passing touchdowns to 34 picks, or 1 passing touchdown to 21 picks?
One passing
34 picks.
touchdown. One passing touchdown.
I think that's crazy. He hasn't even. I mean, at least Kyler's thrown for 1,000, but Stafford barely thrown for 700. That's crazy.
Oh
Hey,
yeah,
we're
that
not gonna
line
bash.
stuff
We're
is
not gonna bash
incredible.
Lions. We're not gonna bash Lions. He's still here.
Nah, yeah.
We're
Credit
not
the
gonna
Lions
bash.
for gutting it out. You know what I mean?
I mean, I heard that he was tanking as well.
Yeah.
Uh,
Most passing yards per game obviously goes to Rodgers at this point. QBR, who leads the league. As far as starters go, we have the man himself who just joined us, Jimmy G, leads the league in total QBR.
Yeah, fuck
because he
yeah.
barely throws the ball.
No, bitch. I throw it all
with the
over the
131.1. In second place, Daniel Jones, Lamar, Drew Brees, Pat Mahomes. And the longest passing touchdown of the year goes to Kirk Cousins, who's been the most sacked QB, Drew Lock, Kyler Murray, Tyree Jackson, and Deshaun Watson.
Damn, Cardinals, you in for it this week, buddy.
I like the trash talk.
Right.
If you're getting sacked that much by these other people, you just wait.
Oh,
Well,
he's
Apple
pressing
Carlos,
you.
you there?
He's pressing you.
You guys hear something? Because all I hear is nonsense.
Oh, he calling you nonsense, bro. How you feel?
All I gotta say is the last two times we played speak for themselves.
Oh, name the scores. I know you know the scores. Name the scores.
The first time it was 24-3. Second time it was 23-9.
Oh,
I locked his offense up both times.
do you think that's gonna happen again?
Yeah, it'll probably be worse this time.
God damn,
Oh.
bitch, your mic fucking killing my ears.
For real, I feel bad for the people in the stream. People in the stream, I apologize.
Yo, you about it? Not even your fucking stream.
I don't care if it's not my stream. I can still apologize.
What the fuck was that?
Coronavirus is one.
No, you're the. Don't say him. You got it.
I don't got it.
Yeah, you got it.
I don't think he can catch much of anything.
You what?
I don't think he can catch much of anything. All you gotta do is look at his passing game.
Oh.
Oh shit.
Oh.
He's talking shit, bro. He's talking
You can't talk
shit.
shit because you don't even pass the ball.
It's
I got
getting
the highest
He's talking that
QBR,
shit.
bro. I got the highest QBR. Where you at in QBR?
You got the highest QBR, man.
if you don't
Kick
throw
that
it.
nigga out the party. God damn. Make my ear bleed.
Alright. To run this down real quick. Leading the league in rushing yards so far, midway
We
throughout
already
the
know who
season.
it is.
Alvin
We already
Kamara,
Oh,
998.
what?
Yup.
Alvin Kamara?
2 yards short of 1,000 yards. Alvin Kamara, 998
I
with
was
a
not expecting that.
big game against the Arizona Cardinals. Just probably helped. No shade to you, just throwing facts.
It's all shit. You don't say shit.
CMC coming in second place with 992, just 6 yards behind him. Matt Breida, despite being hurt for one game, in third place with 892.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh. There you go.
I play him in week 12.
Play who?
Broncos.
Who the fuck is watching that? I'm professional.
Saquon Barkley coming in fourth place. And in fifth place, Devontae Freeman with 801. But if we go here to rushing touchdowns, who leads the way? Alvin Kamara leads the league in rushing yards and rushing touchdowns. Freeman in second place. Matt Breida in third.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna assume it's Niners.
For real.
Fourth place CMC, tied for Damon Williams, Saquon, Nick Chubb in fifth place. As far as fumbles, I don't want to be rude. Should I mute him? I don't know.
Be rude. Wait,
Should
yeah,
I?
mute him.
All right, cool. I don't want to be a dick. You know what I mean? All right. Deshaun Watson leads the league in fumbles. Patty Mahomes coming second. Tied for third, Cam and Lamar. Fourth place goes to Kyler Murray. Then Drew Brees, Terrell Pryor with 5. As far as broken tackles, who leads the league in broken tackles? That goes to Zeke Elliott with 25. Bell in second. Marshawn Lynch in third place somehow. Fourth place, Chris Carson. Mark Ingram, 5th place. And last statistic for the rushing wise, longest run of the year goes to James White, 96 yards. So congratulations to New England Patriots. Most yards after contact goes to Nick Chubb. But as you go to the receiving end here, Jesus holy moly, 54 catches.
Calvin Ridley.
We're not even. I'm looking at the yards, but we're gonna see
Ban that nigga. Ban him.
who leads the league in receptions. That goes to Evan Ingram with 69. Calvin Ridley with 54. Hollywood with 49. Third place, Tyreek Hill. Diggs in 4th place. 5th place goes to Zach Ertz. As far as yards, Calvin Ridley is currently on pace. I don't know if you want to do the math, but this is just me predicting. He's on pace for 3,000 receiving yards. I'm just saying. He leads the league just 8 weeks in, 1,843 receiving yards. That is ridiculous. That's crazy. Evan Ingram leads the league in receiving yards, 2nd place in receiving yards, 1,427. Tyreek Hill in 3rd place. D.D. Westbrook, Julio Jones, both on the same team, both identical in receiving yards with 988, and D.K. Metcalf in 5th place. As far as receiving touchdowns, Calvin Ridley in 1st place with 19, Ingram and Hill in 2nd, Julio and Hollywood in 3rd, D.D. in 4th, Odell in 5th, and for more run after the catch yards, Ingram in 1st place, and longest reception of the year goes to Stephon Diggs for 99 yards.
Okay, dang, he was at the 1.
Crazy. As far as tackles, Jayon Brown leads the league with 62. As far as sacks, 21.5 sacks for Vic Beasley leads the league, on pace to break the single season sack record held by Michael Strahan. Zadarius Smith, who's suspended for 5 games, was on pace at 18.5. Everson Griffin with 15 in 3rd place. Cameron Jordan 13.5, and in 5th, J.J. Watt, Lorenzo Alexander. As we go to interceptions, who leads the league in INTs? Darnell Savage, the Green Bay Packers, leads the league. Rookie as well. Nickel Roby with 7. A bunch of players at 7. Roby, Jesse Bates, Anzalone, Jerome Baker, Tyrann Mathieu, and a bunch of people at 6 as well. Should we go here for forced fumbles? Well, a bunch of people at 2. We're not going to go into that. But as far as safety, leads the league in safeties. Zadarius Smith with 2. Blocked field goals. A bunch of people with 1. And defensive touchdowns. Xavier Rhodes, Eli Apple, Keanu Neal, Jalen Thompson, and Desmond King lead the league with 2 defensive touchdowns each. We're not
I forgot Jalen Thompson.
I just said his name.
I make sure you know.
No, I got you, bro. That's pretty much it for the season stats. And for the final thing we're gonna cover team stats next week. But it's always important, you know what I mean? Look into your ownership. Look exactly how much you're selling. As far as marketing, you can always adjust your concession stand, your jerseys, your the tickets for the suites, yada yada. You know, all the other extra shit. As far as marketing here, we're not gonna look at my team. We'll look at the NFL top 10 jersey sales for each and every team. Patrick Mahomes, obviously, number 1 right now. Kelsey, his go-to weapon outside of Tyreek Hill, at number 2. Breeze at 3. Matt Ryan at 4. Julio Jones at 5. Luke Kuechly at 6. Richard Sherman at 7. Shady McCoy at 8. Jimmy G at 9. And, of course, Emmanuel Sanders at 10. We covered everything. There's pretty much everything that needs to be said. Anything you guys want to get into or let it be known? You said relocation? All right. Yeah. Wait, since how many teams are relocating? We're all relocating, right?
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
relocating.
Yeah.
All right.
Everybody besides the 49ers.
So, like in order, whatever you guys want to do, explain why you decided to pick the location you wanted to relocate to.
Okay, I'm going to Chicago because Washington fans are terrible.
Okay.
Washington fans are terrible.
How about you, Arizona?
They ain't got no money. You know what I'm saying?
Why I relocated? You talking about Bill? Bill's the one that relocated as well.
Well, why did you want to relocate Buffalo?
Oh, well, see, the Bills' uniforms are not that good, right? And the Bills' logo is a bit bland, and I'm getting the same amount of money I would be getting in compared to if I would be in Houston, where I'm going.
Okay. And what is all your team names heading into your new city?
The Houston
Chicago
Voyagers.
Royals. I think it's Chicago
London
Royals.
Black Knights.
Okay.
We don't care about London.
You can go suck a dick.
The Niners said unmute him. Niners, you got too much.
Yeah. As far as I know, Niners isn't relocating, but I am. I decided to relocate to Portland. I fuck with the Trailblazers, so I felt as though they deserve a football team as well. So I'm gonna be the Portland Snowhawks. Yeah.
Copycat.
Happy.
How? How?
I was the Seahawks. Now he's gonna try to take over Washington. What's wrong with you?
Just gotta be into the Hawks, bro. Shit.
But you're
They're
leaving.
right next to Seattle too, low key.
You disgust me.
But you're leaving Seattle, so
Yeah,
all
I'm
the more
leaving,
reason.
but still.
That's all the more reason for him to go over there. Portland. Is you're leaving.
You're gonna get no fans. I just want to let you know that.
I don't know, bro. Shit.
Ranked 20.
No one's gonna come watch you unless you play me.
I
Just
bet.
thought you should know that from me first.
Are you, since you're going to Chicago, do you think you're gonna outsell the Bears, who are a historic team?
Yeah. Fuck the Bears.
Oh, again.
Alright, so we pretty much ran everything down. Everything is here to be covered. That's pretty much it for week
Bears
6
ain't
to
stay at
8
home.
recap of the Gridiron Gang League. This is your host with the most, Head Commissioner Boogie by J signing out. Anything
Well,
y'all want to
that's
say
it.
before we head out?
Go subscribe to my YouTube channel. Yes, sir. Self promotion. Per 2K_YT.
No,
Self promotion.
no.
Self
Don't do
promotion.
it. He's a faggot.
Says the one I can't shoot wide open. Boom.
That's the one that
4 for
is a
14.
piece of shit.
4 for 14. Shot 4 for 14.
Alright, come on, Kobe.
Come on, Kobe.
I know I'm cold. Shoot, I don't care. I shoot just like him.
Alright, y'all. We signing out. Stay tuned. Hit the subscribe button. Hit the notification bell to stay tuned whenever we go live stream as usual. Alright, we're signing out.